friends, and welcome to a new video. My name is Kylie, also known as I Have Kai Creations here on YouTube, and welcome to the video. Welcome back if you are a subscriber. But today we are doing watercolor landscapes, which I'm very excited for. These were really fun. I'm so excited to finally get this video out. I've had it done for a very long time. I was just working on the 100 Heads challenge and then my sketchbook tour, so it is finally time to post this. And what brought me to this spread here was I was at work one day on my break and I try to draw. When I am able to take a break, I try to draw just to keep my mind creative and like not just doom scroll on my phone for 30 minutes. And I wasn't sure what to draw this day, so I just started drawing circles everywhere, or I guess not circles, blobs everywhere. And then in the first one I drew that little bridge river landscape, and I was like, well, actually I could definitely do the whole thing like this. So I did mainly landscapes. There are a few animals just because those were really small little bubbles and I didn't feel like trying to squeeze a little landscape in there. So, and those actually end up really good. I used to be like, I would absolutely not draw animals ever because I never drew them, so I didn't know how to draw them. And I'm pretty proud of myself, especially on the little birdie in the top. He's so cute in the end. But yeah, so this is a really fun spread, and I actually think that you guys should try this. Draw random, blobs and then go fill them in with stuff, and it's just a fun exercise to kind of get the creative mind flowing. These are the kinds of things that are really good to do in your sketchbook, especially if you have a hard time filling your sketchbook and coming up with ideas to fill your sketchbook. This is a really good one. This is not my idea. I did not come up with this. I've seen many people do this, and I'm pretty sure I did this in school. So definitely not my idea, but for those of you who haven't heard it, definitely try it out in your sketchbook. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always trying to find new things to do in my sketchbook, so I can be excited to go draw. But yeah, we are almost done with the first one. The first one's one of the weaker ones, just because, like I said, I was trying to paint like it was gouache and I kind of wasn't thinking, and I was trying to put light colors on top of dark, and that doesn't work as well with watercolor versus gouache. So yeah, but we are on to the second one. This one is probably tied for my favorite along with one of the other ones, but I really like this one. This one was heavily inspired by a reference, but I kind of did my own thing, especially with the rock. Actually, I don't know if this was a reference or not. This has been a very long time since I filmed this. I don't 100% remember. I definitely remember it's at least partially my idea. But I really, really love this one, especially the flowers. I've become like I really like drawing flowers lately and landscapes. I used to not like drawing landscapes anyways, so yeah, I really end up liking this one a lot. The color palette's also really nice. We have the blue, we have the green. It's like an olivey green, and then I tried to make it pretty dark. That way the flowers would pop a little bit. And there's like depth to it. And then the blue is just like, I don't know. It's really nice. It's a really nice color palette, really nice values within the painting. I just had a really good time with this one. And I'm actually really glad that I was enjoying painting these, because right after this, actually, I went to dinner with my grandparents and they asked me to paint them a painting. And it's a landscape. It's a photo they took on their travels, and it's really pretty. There's like mountains in the back, and it's like the focus is this rock with this like little leaning rock that's kind of like balanced. It's really cute. There's a little bit of greenery in there, and the sun was like kind of setting, so it's casting this like pink and purple glow on the mountains. and she really wanted me to emphasize that. So I'm very, very excited for that. And this made me realize I actually really do like painting landscapes. Actually, the first time I realized I enjoyed painting landscapes was back when I did a gouache painting of some RDR2 fan art, and one of them was Arthur on a horse, and then there's a landscape in the background, and it's so pretty. And it was the first time I had painted a landscape and been proud of myself. Actually, not even sure if I'd painted a landscape before that, but I was just so proud of myself painting that. Like, it looked really nice, especially considering I hadn't used gouache like at all when I did that. Like maybe once or twice in very simplified form. I had never done a detailed painting with gouache, so pretty happy with it. If you want to see that spread, it is in my sketchbook tour video. I will link that up above for you guys. Definitely go check it out. It's a good one. And if you decide that you really like sketchbook tours, I also have another one. It's my very first YouTube video, so if you just go all the way to the bottom, it's there. Or there's also a playlist. But that one's really good as well. That one's a bit longer because there's a bit more pages in that sketchbook. But both are really good. There's some pretty decent art in both of them. So definitely, if you love sketchbook tours like I do, go check those out. Back to our little sketchbook spread here though. It looks like we have finished the lighthouse, and that one turned out really great. I'm very, very proud of that one. And we are on to this tree, which I love, and I had the idea of like making it look like light is coming through, and I was struggling without a reference to kind of get an idea of what I'm thinking of. But I feel like I ended up doing a pretty decent job, and I ended up really loving this one, and I'd love to draw this on a bigger scale sometime. I think it'd be fun. I'm sure I'm not the only artist, but I don't have like a limit of how many canvases I buy. So in the past, before I lived somewhere with a true art store, I would go to Michael's anytime they had that sale where it was like buy one get two free, and I would buy 3 canvases every time. So I have a ton of unused canvases just sitting in my art supply closet, and I think I'm ready to start pulling some of them out because I just actually finished a painting. It's a self-portrait, and I will have a whole video on that painting, and I'll talk about my process and what I struggled with, what was fun. So I'll definitely talk about that on my channel when I put that video out. But yeah, I just finished that one. I'm starting my painting for my grandparents, and then once I'm done, that has to be done within like less than 2 months because I'm taking it home with me for the holidays. I haven't been home in a while, so yeah, I'm very, very excited. And I kind of have some motivation now that I finished my self-portrait to start doing some more paintings because I had a really good time with that. And I actually just had a coworker gift me some oils, some water mixable oils, because regular oils scare me. The thought of things being flammable and toxic, and I live in an apartment, and it's just too much for me. I'm not ready for that yet. So she got me the water mixable one, so I'm very excited to give these a try. It should be interesting. I watched a lot of videos on it, and they look like they're gonna be fun. So I'm normally, or not normally, but I started as an acrylic painter. All my big paintings are in acrylic because that's what I know, that's what I use. So I'm very excited to try some more new mediums. I've been trying a lot of different painting mediums recently. Like this is in watercolor, and like I said, I've had that palette since I was in middle school, so I don't use watercolor very often, right? I've tried gouache. I actually just got a new set of Winsor & Newton gouache, and I've only used it once, but I'm definitely excited to be trying it out. And I'm actually, for the holidays, I had some people ask me if I wanted what I wanted as gifts, and Well, I will probably ask for some new watercolors actually, because I've really been enjoying watercolor. So I can't pick one medium apparently. I want to try them all, so it's very exciting. But I definitely like watercolor. Watercolor's kind of underrated. Like, I know a lot of people love watercolor, but in the general art community, like, I don't see people doing watercolor just like for fun, question mark. Like the mediums I see people use, especially in their sketchbooks, are like gouache, alcohol markers, which I've never tried, and it just seems like a lot. Acrylic markers, colored pencils. Like, I don't see people use watercolor, and I'm sure it's because you need a lot of water for it. But honestly, this sketchbook, this is my art creation sketchbook, and as long as I wasn't using a crazy amount of water, it held up pretty darn well. It did a pretty good job. So I'm not, you can see a little warping, but I just clipped it down with the little binder clip there, and that worked. So yeah, I definitely should pull out my watercolors a bit more often, and I think if I have a watercolor set that is a bit nicer than this one, I would probably pull them out more. But I do like to go ahead and use whatever paint I have before I buy new paints. Like, I, for the longest time, still used the little craft paints for my paintings because I didn't want to waste I didn't want to waste that paint. It's paint. It's not fancy acrylic paint, but it's still paint, so I didn't want to waste it. So I like to make sure I'm using all my materials all the way. Like I said, I don't like wasting things. I don't like just throwing things away. It's not good for the environment, and someone bought me this, or I bought this myself, so why am I throwing it away? You know, so yeah. Oh, we're on to the Ladybug. He's so cute. Whatever. It's so cute. That was actually really easy. It took me like 2 seconds, as you just saw. And now we're on to the birdie, which I really like the bird as well. But if you're watching the video, I keep pulling out this marker, and it's just like a little craft acrylic paint marker. My RTX or Artix, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, but those paint markers I've had for not quite a year yet, but my white is like completely out. I used it too much, so, which is very unfortunate because that pack was very expensive. But yeah, the white doesn't work anymore, so I bought this like $2 little craft paint marker from Michael's. If you guys have suggestions on good white paint markers, let me know in the comments, because I'm always using a white marker and I've yet to find a really good one that I like. So definitely leave some suggestions in the comments. And we are now down to the bottom painting. This one is, unfortunately, this one is probably the weakest. This one, the last two, are not my favorite. I just think I didn't do a very good job, and with it being all, you know, all white, it was just really hard to get the depth that the rest of the paintings kind of have. So it wasn't my favorite. It's not terrible, but it just wasn't my favorite of the page. I think I also really like all the green and all the other ones, so this one didn't have any green, and I was like, where's the green? So no worries. And we are on to the maybe not, switching it up, going back and forth. Now we're on the very last one. This one was fun. I could have executed it a little better. I feel like it's pretty flat. And I do try to bring it back a little bit, but it still ends up looking pretty flat. But this one was definitely a reference photo, and I think that was part of the problem, is I was focused too much on the reference photo and not just trying to, I don't know, trusting myself, trusting my own eye and where things need to go. And I definitely feel like that's been something I've realized lately is, yes, focus on the reference, because references can teach you things, but I also feel like I have an eye for certain things, and the way I like certain things, and the reference might not reflect what I like in my eye. So it ends up with me not liking stuff sometimes, if that makes sense to anyone. I'm literally just rambling. This has been just a rambling video, but it's okay. I hope you guys enjoy it anyways. But yeah, this was a very, very fun spread. I appreciate each and every one of you for staying to the very end here. And if you did stay to the end, leave a comment down below. Let me know which one was your favorite. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends.